Wife mocked me at family dinner, so I pulled out divorce papers on the spot, shattered her reputation, and left everyone at the table speechless. I'm Oscar, 34, and I'm a paleontologist. Yeah, I dig up dinosaurs for a living, or as my soon-to-be ex-wife Octavia loves to tell people, I play in dirt like a child. I actually manage excavation projects for a major natural history museum, oversee millions in research grants, and have published papers that changed how we understand theropod evolution. But to Octavia and her family, I'm just the weird guy who somehow tricked their princess into marriage. Let me paint you a picture of who Octavia really is. On Instagram, she's a luxury travel blogger with 47K followers. Self-made entrepreneur. Girl boss. Living her best life. What she doesn't mention is that every trip, every designer bag, every F-King manicure is funded by my playing in dirt. In 6 years of marriage, her business has generated maybe $4,000 in revenue. I've spent over $300,000 on her career. But I could handle the money. What broke me was the contempt. It started small. Little jokes at dinner parties. Oscar's saving up for a new fossil brush. Laugh laugh. Maybe one day he'll find a dinosaur that pays the bills. More laughter. I'd sit there, smile tight, while she performed for whatever audience would watch. Her family was the worst, they ate that SHT up like candy. Her father Roland owns a chain of high-end furniture stores. Real money, old money attitude. Her mother Delia was some hotshot interior designer in the 90s, now spends her days planning charity galas and judging everyone's outfits. Her brother Wesley is in commercial real estate, you know the type, cocaine confidence and a Rolex he mentions every conversation. Sister Priya owns 3 boutique fitness studios that daddy funded. To them, I was the freeloader. The academic who couldn't provide properly for their princess. Never mind that I paid for our house, our cars, everything while Octavia played entrepreneur on Instagram. 3 months ago, everything changed. I was looking for our insurance documents on her laptop when I found her content planning folder. Videos she'd recorded but hadn't posted yet. In one, she's doing a Q&A. Someone asks about her husband. She laughs and says, "Who said I'm married? I'm focused on my career right now. No time for relationships when you're building an empire." I watched 17 videos. Not once did she mention me. Our wedding photos? Edited so I'm cropped out or she's solo. Our anniversary trip to Santorini that cost me $15,000? Solo adventure to find myself. But the best part? I found her DMs with her photographer, Constantine. They'd been F-King for 8 months. She called me the human tranquilizer and said marrying me was her charity work. Constantine thought it was hilarious. That's when I started planning. First, I hired a divorce attorney. Not just any attorney, Miranda Steele, the woman who handled the Brigstone divorce. You might have heard about it, the husband hid $50 million, she found every penny. Cost me $5,000 just for the retainer, but worth every cent. Second, I hired a forensic accountant. Turns out, Octavia had been claiming her personal expenses as business write-offs. Trips to see Constantine? Location scouting. Designer clothes? Brand partnerships. The IRS is very interested in her creative accounting. Third, I started documenting everything. Every insult, every expense, every post where she pretended to be single. I built a file that would destroy her narrative completely. Then I waited. Because here's what people don't understand about revenge, timing is everything. You don't strike when you're angry. You strike when it will hurt the most. Roland's 59th birthday dinner was perfect. The whole family would be there, plus some of their country club friends. Octavia spent weeks planning her outfit, her posts, her stories. This was her stage, her audience. Her kingdom. I wore my best suit. The Tom Ford one Octavia bought me 3 years ago when she still pretended to give a F. I looked good. Calm. Collected. She didn't suspect anything when I brought my leather messenger bag. I often brought work documents to review when her family gathered, gave me something to do while they talked about people I didn't know. The dinner was at Roland's estate. 12 people around their dining table that cost more than most people's cars. The conversation started typical. Wesley's latest deal, Priya's new instructor who used to train some celebrity, Delia's friend whose daughter just married a senator's son. Then Octavia started her routine. Oscar had such an exciting week, she announced, voice dripping with fake enthusiasm. He found a rock that might be important. Or it might just be a rock. With him, you never really know. Polite laughter. I keep telling him he should transition to something more substantial. But he loves his little dinosaurs. She patted my hand like I was a child. At least someone in the marriage has a real career, Wesley added, smirking. How's the influencer thing going, B? Hit 50K yet? 48K, actually. And multiple brand partnerships in negotiation. She shot me a look. Some of us are building something modern, not digging up the past. Roland raised his glass. Well, we can't all be entrepreneurs. Someone has to do the simple work. That's when Delia decided to twist the knife. Octavia, darling, are you sure you don't want to consider your options? You're still young, beautiful. Plenty of men would appreciate what you're building. Men who could contribute equally. Octavia laughed. Actually laughed. Mother, please. Oscar tries his best. Don't you, honey? Even if your best is, well, what it is. Tell them about your paper, Oscar, she continued, voice sugary sweet. The one about the dinosaur toes? I'm sure everyone's dying to hear about dinosaur toes. More laughter. Wesley's date, some blonde named Astrid, actually snorted her wine. You know what I love most about my husband? Octavia stood up, wine glass in hand, ready for her performance. He's so consistent. Same job for 8 years. Same boring conferences. Same dusty office. Same excuses for why we can't afford to expand, to grow, to really live. She was on a roll now, drunk on attention and Pinot Noir. I told my followers the other day, success isn't about who you marry, it's about what you build yourself. And while Oscar's playing Indiana Jones minus the excitement or the treasure, I'm creating something real. Something that matters. Speaking of which, Priya chimed in, Constantine sent me your photos from the Miami shoot. F. King incredible. You two have such chemistry. Octavia's eyes flickered to me for just a second. Testing. Seeing if I knew. He's brilliant, she said carefully. Really understands my vision. I bet he does, I said. My first words in 20 minutes. Everyone looked at me. What was that, darling? Octavia's voice had an edge now. I said I bet he does understand your vision. The late night planning sessions. The weekend strategy meetings. Very thorough. Her face went pale, then red. Are you implying something? No implications needed. I reached into my bag, pulled out the folder. Just facts. The room went quiet. What is that? Roland demanded. The end. I pulled out the divorce papers first. Thick stack, already filled out, tagged where she needed to sign. Placed them in front of Octavia with the precision I use placing fossils. What the F is this? Her mask slipped. The real Octavia showing through. Divorce papers. Filed this morning. You're being served at your parents' house because, well, that's where you'll be living. You can't be serious. She tried to laugh. Over some jokes? Don't be so sensitive. Page 12 details the adultery. 8 months with Constantine. Suite 412 at the Ritz. Every Tuesday and Thursday when you said you had photography workshops. Wesley stood up. Now wait a minute. Sit down, Wesley. I didn't even look at him. Page 18 covers the financial fraud. $300,000 spent on a business that generated $4,000. But claimed as tax deductions. The IRS will be very interested. You recorded me? Octavia's voice cracked. You recorded yourself. Who said I'm married? I'm focused on my career. That's from last month. Would you like me to play it? I have 17 videos where you claim to be single. Delia gasped. Octavia, what is he talking about? Page 24, I continued, pulling out more documents, shows every expense. Every trip. Every purchase. Every lie. Did you know she spent $8,000 last month on a business retreat that was actually a week with Constantine in Cabo? That was a legitimate. I have the hotel receipts. 1 bed. Champagne and strawberries. Very legitimate. Roland's face was purple. You've been spying on my daughter? No. I've been documenting my wife's fraud. There's a difference. I pulled out my phone. Would you like to see the messages where she calls me the human tranquilizer and your family trust fund vampires? Oh wait, that's not very flattering to you. UF King Tard, Octavia snarled. You think you can humiliate me? I'm not humiliating you. I'm giving you consequences. I pulled out another paper. This is a financial freeze notice. Joint accounts are locked. Credit cards cancelled as of. I checked my watch, 47 minutes ago. Your business accounts are under investigation. You can't do this. She was standing now, hands shaking. It's done. Your car? It's in my name. Lease ends next month. The house? Mine before we married. Your Instagram equipment? Purchased on my credit cards. It's all being collected tomorrow. I'll destroy you online. She was screaming now. My followers will love the drama. Until they find out about the fake engagement numbers. Oh yeah, I know about the bot farms. 18,000 fake followers. Against Instagram's terms of service. Your account will be suspended within the week. Priya tried to intervene. Oscar, this is cruel. You're destroying her life over some jokes? Jokes? I laughed. Actually laughed. She's been F-king another man in our bed. She's committed tax fraud. She's spent $300,000 of my money while telling anyone who'd listen that I'm a pathetic loser playing in dirt. But this is revenge, Delia said weakly. No. This is justice. I stood up, straightened my tie. Revenge would be posting her NDS online. The one she sent Constantine. Very artistic. But I'm not that petty. Octavia lunged for the papers. I'm not signing SHT. You don't have to. California is no-fault divorce. But if you fight it, everything comes out. Every message. Every receipt. Every lie. Your choice, sign and walk away with some dignity, or fight and lose everything publicly. Daddy. She turned to Roland. Do something. Roland looked at the papers, then at me. What do you want? Nothing. I want absolutely nothing from any of you. I just want out. There must be something. Actually, there is one thing. I pulled out the last document. This is a cease and desist. Octavia is not to mention me, reference me, or imply anything about me on any platform. Violation results in a $50,000 penalty per incident. You can't silence me. I'm not silencing you. Talk all you want. Just not about me. I'm done being your content. Wesley tried one more time. You're making a mistake. You'll never find someone like her again. F-king, thank God for that. I picked up my bag, left the papers on the table. Happy birthday, Roland. Enjoy your dessert. As I walked to the door, Octavia screamed, You're nothing without me. You're just some nobody who digs up bones. I made you interesting. I stopped. Turned around. The whole table was watching. No, Octavia. You made me realize something. I'd rather be alone in the dirt than together in your BS. The last thing I heard was her throwing a wine glass at the wall. Update 1, posted 18 hours later. Holy SHT, this exploded. I'm trying to read all your comments. To answer some questions, yes, this really happened. No, I'm not some creative writer. I'm a paleontologist who finally grew a spine. Okay, update time because SHT has been insane since last night. I drove straight from Roland's house to my new apartment. Yeah, I've had an apartment for 3 weeks. Small place near the museum, nothing fancy, but it's mine. All my important stuff was already moved, documents, grandfather's watch collection, my research files. Octavia never noticed because she never gave a F about my things anyway. The text started at 11 p.m. Octavia, come back right now. We need to talk. Octavia, you humiliated me in front of my family. Octavia, this is all a misunderstanding. Octavia, answer your F-king phone. Octavia, I'll KL myself if you don't come back. Octavia, you're overreacting about Constantine. It meant nothing. Octavia, I'm calling the police and saying you abused me. I screenshot everything and sent them to Miranda, my attorney. She responded at midnight, perfect. Keep documenting. Do not respond. At 2 a.m., Wesley showed up at my apartment. No idea how he found it until I remembered Octavia tracks my phone location. First thing I did was change all my passwords and turn off location sharing. Wesley banged on my door for 10 minutes, yelling about family respect and how real men handle things privately. I called building security. They removed him. He threw a punch at the security guard, which was F-king stupid. Cops were called. Wesley spent the night in jail. This morning, Roland called my office. My boss put him through because Roland name-dropped some big donors. The conversation went like this. Roland, you've made your point. What's it going to take? Me, for what? Roland, to make this go away. The divorce, the IRS threat, all of it. Me, it's not a threat. The report's already filed. Roland, You vindictive little SHT. You think you're clever? I could buy and sell you 1,000 times. Me, but you can't buy the IRS. Roland, I'll bury you. You'll never work in this city again. Me, I record all my calls, Roland. That sounded like a threat. He hung up. But here's where it gets really interesting. Constantine called me. Yeah, the photographer boyfriend. He was panicking because apparently Octavia owes him $30,000 for services and he wanted to know if I'd cover it since I'm the wallet. I laughed so hard I nearly choked on my coffee. Turns out, Octavia had been promising him payment from her upcoming brand deals for months. He's been photographing her for free, thinking he'd cash in when she hit it big. She told him she was about to sign with Fashion Nova for $100,000. There is no Fashion Nova deal. There never was. I told him to get in line with the other creditors. Then, around 2 p.m., Octavia posted on Instagram. Oh, this was a masterpiece of delusion. Black and white photo of her looking sad but beautiful, probably taken by Constantine. The caption: sometimes life tests us in unexpected ways. Today I'm starting a new chapter, free from toxicity and those who tried to dim my light. To my amazing followers, you'll be seeing the real me now. No more hiding, no more pretending. The truth always comes out. Hashtag new beginnings, hashtag survivor, hashtag narcissistic abuse, hashtag strong women. 1,400 comments in 3 hours. Most supporting her, calling me trash, saying she deserves better. Some asking why all her previous posts with her husband were deleted if she's just now leaving him. Then someone found this Reddit thread. One comment: girl, your husband posted the receipts on Reddit. You cheated for 8 months. Another: is it true you spent $300,000 of his money? Another: why did you tell everyone you were single? She deleted the post within an hour. But the internet is forever. Screenshots everywhere. Her follower count is dropping. Last I checked, she's down to 43k from 48k this morning. But the best part? Priya called me. Not to yell, not to threaten. To apologize. I didn't know, she said. About Constantine, about the money, about any of it. We just thought. We believed her stories. She's my sister, you know? But Wesley's girlfriend found your post and Oscar. We were horrible to you. I didn't know what to say. Priya was always the least cruel, just went along with the family mockery. She's been lying to us too, Priya continued. She told us you were controlling, that you monitored her spending, that you were jealous of her success. We thought we were supporting her. You never asked for my side. No. We didn't. And that's on us. She told me Octavia is spiraling. Locked in her childhood room, calling brands and begging them not to drop her. Apparently, the few real partnerships she had are pulling out because of the fraud investigation. Oh, and Constantine? He went to the house to get his equipment and Octavia attacked him with a straightening iron. He's pressing charges. Miranda called an hour ago. Octavia's lawyer reached out. She wants to negotiate. She'll sign the divorce papers if you drop the fraud report and give her $50,000 to restart her life. I laughed until my ribs hurt. Counter offer, I said. She signs immediately, takes nothing, and I don't release the video. What video? The one where she's doing coke with Constantine at my nephew's christening. In the church bathroom. There's no video. But Octavia did do coke at the christening, and she's paranoid enough to believe I recorded it. Miranda said she'd relay the message. It's been 24 hours since I burned my life down. Or did I? Because honestly, I feel lighter than I have in years. My colleague Heather, who Octavia always suspected I was F-King, I wasn't, we're just friends, brought me a bottle of champagne with a note, to new beginnings and found spines. Tomorrow I'm leading a presentation on our new Cretaceous discovery. 3 years ago, I found a nearly complete skeleton of an unknown species of dromaeosaurid. While Octavia was F-King Constantine, I was writing the paper that's going to change paleontology textbooks. She was right about one thing, I do play in dirt. But at least what I find has value. More updates if you want them. This SHT is far from over. Update 2, 1 week later. The last week has been absolutely F-King surreal. I'm writing this from my hotel in Montana. Yeah, I left the state because I needed to focus on something real. We're doing a new excavation out here, and being in the field is exactly what I needed. But first, let me tell you what happened after my last update. Octavia signed the papers. It took 3 days of negotiation, but she finally broke. The tipping point? Her remaining brand partnerships found the Reddit threads. All of them. Someone even made a TikTok breaking down the whole saga with screenshots and receipts. It has 2.3 million views. Fashion Nova, who she'd been courting for months, publicly commented, "We don't partner with individuals involved in fraud investigations." Her Instagram is down to 31K followers. The bot purge was real. But here's where it gets interesting. Remember how I mentioned the forensic accountant? Well, he found something I didn't know about. Octavia had opened 3 credit cards in my name. Maxed out. $45,000 in debt I didn't know existed. Identity theft. Federal crime. Miranda was practically giddy. This changes everything. She's looking at potential jail time. We offered a deal, sign the papers, accept full responsibility for the debt, and I won't press charges. Her lawyer advised her to take it immediately. She signed from her parents' living room while I was on Zoom. Looked like SHT, no makeup, hair in a messy bun, wearing what looked like old college sweatpants. The Octavia I knew would never let anyone see her like that. "I hope you're happy," she said at the end. "I'm getting there. You destroyed my life." "No, I revealed your life. There's a difference." She started crying. Not the pretty tears she used to manipulate me with, but ugly, snotty sobbing. "I loved you once," she said. "Before everything. Remember? That first year?" I did remember. Before the influence of money and Instagram, before her family convinced her she'd settled, before Constantine. We used to hike together. She'd pack sandwiches while I identified rocks and fossils along the trail. She seemed genuinely interested in my work then. That person doesn't exist anymore, Octavia. Maybe she never did. Roland tried one more power play. He contacted the museum's board of directors, trying to get me fired. Said I was unstable and vindictive. It backfired spectacularly. Turns out, my discovery last year brought in $2.3 million in grant funding. The board told Roland, in professional terms, to F off. My department head called me personally, "Oscar, your personal life is your business. Your professional work speaks for itself. Also, that man is an idiot." But the real shock came from Wesley. He showed up at my apartment the day after he got out of jail. I almost didn't let him in, but he looked different. Defeated. "I need to tell you something," he said, sitting on my second-hand couch. "About Octavia. About what she said." Apparently, Octavia had been planning to divorce me after she hit 100K followers. She'd been consulting with divorce lawyers for months, trying to figure out how to get maximum alimony. The plan was to claim emotional abuse, use my controlling behavior as evidence, and walk away with half of everything plus monthly support. "She showed me spreadsheets," Wesley said. "Calculating how much she could get, how long she'd have to stay married to maximize the payout. You were never a husband to her, Oscar. You were an investment." "Why are you telling me this?" "Because we helped her. We validated every insult, every joke, every humiliation. We made you feel like nothing so she could justify her plan. And that's F-ket up." He apologized. Wesley, the cocaine and Rolex idiot, actually apologized. "I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm just saying. You didn't deserve that. Any of it." Delia sent me a letter. An actual handwritten letter. It was 3 pages of justification and blame shifting, but buried in the middle was one line: "Perhaps we failed Octavia by never teaching her consequences." Perhaps? Perhaps? Priya's been texting me updates. Octavia is living with them now, sleeping in her teenage bedroom with its pink walls and participation trophies. She's applied to 47 jobs in the past week. No responses yet. Turns out influencer doesn't translate well on a resume. Constantine fled to Los Angeles. He's telling everyone Octavia is crazy and owes him money. He posted some of their text exchanges where she promises him payment, fame, connections. She's threatening to sue him for revenge PN if he doesn't delete them. He kept them up. The IRS investigation is ongoing. Miranda says it could take months, but there's enough evidence that penalties are certain. Best case scenario for Octavia? She owes about $30,000 in back taxes and penalties. Worst case? Fraud charges. But here's the part that really FS with me. I found our wedding album while packing. Octavia looked genuinely happy. Not performing, not posing, just happy. There's one photo where she's looking at me during the vows, and the expression on her face seemed real. I don't know anymore. I kept one photo. The one of us dancing where you can't see her face, just her dress spinning. It reminds me that at some point, I believed in something. Even if it was a lie. The museum is sending me to Mongolia next month. 3-month expedition to the Gobi Desert. I'll be camping in the middle of nowhere, digging up creatures that died 70 million years ago. No Instagram, no family dinners, no performances. Just dirt and bones and truth. Octavia's lawyer contacted Miranda yesterday. She wants to know if I'd be willing to write a letter of recommendation for her job applications. Say that she was a creative professional during our marriage. I laughed so hard I scared my tent mate. Tell her I'll write exactly what she deserves, I told Miranda. Which is nothing. She gets nothing. Just like she gave. Oh, one more thing. Remember how I mentioned my paper on the new dromaeosaurid species? It was accepted for publication in Nature. The career she mocked, the job she belittled, the playing in dirt she was so embarrassed by? It's about to make me one of the most cited paleontologists of my generation. She'll probably see the news. Her father has a subscription to Nature, he likes to pretend he reads it to seem intellectual. I hope it burns. Final update, 1 month later. I'm writing this from Ulaanbaatar. It's 3 a.m. here, but I can't sleep. Just got an email that made me realize this whole chapter of my life is finally, truly over. But let me catch you up on the last month. The divorce was finalized 2 weeks ago. Fastest dissolution in California history? No, but pretty damn quick when one party has no leverage and a potential federal investigation hanging over their head. I'm officially single. The IRS hit Octavia with $47,000 in penalties and back taxes. No criminal charges, but she's on a payment plan that will take her a decade to clear. She had to sell everything, her bags, shoes, jewelry, even the engagement ring I let her keep initially. Priya sent me a photo of Octavia's estate sale post on Facebook Marketplace. Designer goods piled on her childhood bedspread, price to move. But here's where it gets absolutely insane. Constantine published a tell-all blog post, My 8 Months with a Fake Influencer, a cautionary tale. It went viral. He included screenshots, photos, everything. The most damaging? A voice recording of Octavia saying she was only with me for the startup capital and that she planned to milk the fossil F. cur until he was dry. Fossil F. cur. That was her pet name for me when talking to her lover. Octavia tried to sue him for defamation. The judge threw it out in preliminary hearing. Truth is an absolute defense against defamation. Constantine's lawyer submitted 400 pages of evidence. Her Instagram account was permanently banned for violating terms of service. Creating a new account would violate the ban. Her career is officially dead. Roland's business is struggling. Apparently, some of his biggest clients are academics and museum donors who took my side. Who knew paleontologists had such reach? He had to close 2 of his 5 stores. Wesley reached out last week. He's in therapy now. I realized I was just like her, he said. Using people, mocking anyone different, living off daddy's reputation. You woke us all up, Oscar. I don't know if I believe his transformation, but at least he's trying. Delia filed for divorce from Roland. Priya says she discovered Roland had been having an affair for 15 years. 15 years. With his business partner's wife. The family that judged me for not being enough was built on lies all the way down. And Octavia? She got a job. Administrative assistant at a dental office. $18 an hour. She works for a dentist who, according to Priya, has no idea about her past. She takes the bus to work because she can't afford a car. Lives in her childhood room. No social media allowed per her IRS agreement, they consider it part of the fraud scheme. But here's the email that prompted this update. It's from Octavia. She found my professional email on the museum website. Oscar. I know you hate me. You have every right to. I'm writing this at 2 a.m. because I can't sleep anymore. Haven't been able to since that dinner. I've had a lot of time to think. No phone, no followers, no one to perform for. Just me and these pink walls I picked when I was 14. You were right. I was an investment to myself. I turned our marriage into a business plan and you into a line item. I convinced myself you were nothing so I could justify taking everything. But I need you to know something, and I don't care if you believe me or not. That first year? Before I got lost in the numbers and the likes and the lifestyle? That was real. I loved you. The actual you. The man who got excited about 70 million-year-old bones. Who stayed up all night writing papers that 12 people would read? Who brought me rocks from every dig site because you thought they were beautiful? I KLD that person. That version of me who loved you. I murdered her for followers who don't give a SHT that I'm gone. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm not asking for anything. I just wanted you to know that once upon a time, before I became the monster at that dinner table, I was real. We were real. Your paper comes out next week. Priya told me. I'm proud of you. I know I have no right to be, but I am. You're going to change the world with your dirt and bones. You always were. I was just too stupid and shallow to see it. Be happy, Oscar. You deserve it. Octavia, P.S. I'm in therapy now. Court mandated, but still. My therapist says I have narcissistic personality disorder with borderline features. Fancy way of saying I'm exactly as f'd up as you knew I was. Maybe someday I'll be a real person again. Maybe not. But I'm trying. I read it 6 times. I don't know what to feel. Anger? Pity? Nothing? I chose nothing. Deleted it. Moved on. Because here's what she'll never understand. I don't need her pride. I don't need her recognition. I don't need her to validate what I always knew, that my work matters, that I matter, that what I contribute to this world has value beyond Instagram metrics and engagement rates. Tomorrow, I'm announcing the discovery at a press conference. We found a complete skeleton of a new species that links Asian and North American dromaeosaurids. It's going to rewrite our understanding of dinosaur migration patterns. Museums are already bidding for casting rights. I'm dating someone new. Her name is Elena. She's a geochemist on our team. She thinks my dinosaur obsession is adorable and has never once asked about my social media following. We share a tent, drink bad coffee, and debate extinction theories under Mongolian stars. It's simple. It's real. I'm happy. That dinner was supposed to be my humiliation. Roland's 59th birthday, where his daughter would mock her loser husband one more time for the amusement of the family court. Instead, it was my liberation. I didn't just divorce Octavia that night. I divorced the idea that I needed anyone's validation. I divorced the voice in my head that said maybe they were right, maybe I was just playing in dirt. I divorced the man who sat silent while his worth was debated by people who create nothing, discover nothing, contribute nothing. So to everyone who's asked if I regret going nuclear, no. Not for 1 second. To those in similar situations, document everything. Lawyer up. Wait for your moment. Then burn it all down and walk away clean. And to Octavia, if you ever find this. You were right about one thing. I do play in dirt. But I find treasures you'll never understand. And that's the difference between us. I create knowledge that will outlast both of us. You created content that disappeared the moment you did. Enjoy the bus ride to work. I've got fossils to find. Edit, since people are asking, yes, the paper is real. A new dromaeosaurid theropod from the late Cretaceous of Mongolia. Implications for Laurasian faunal exchange publishes next Thursday in Nature. My name, my discovery, my legacy. And no, I'm never posting about this again. This chapter is closed. Time to write a better one. Peace out, Reddit. Thanks for listening to a paleontologist's revenge tale. Oscar. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.